can't say that. I have to cut that out of the podcast now.
No, you don't.
Like I do. I can't.
Okay,
open
so
up the
cut that
podcast.
part out and then leave this part in.
Yeah, I'll do that. You
Like,
can't
Mike,
start the show off like that.
I'm coming in hot, Aaron. I'm coming in hot.
Obviously, you're freaking angry today. I don't know why.
I'm not angry. I feel great.
Coming off like comments with those was unbelievable. My ears, my virgin ears.
I have my freaking ears.
Welcome back to the Choking Hazard Podcast, everybody. Here we are. It is the end of the year show. Here we are. We have a lot of different things to talk about. We have had an exciting 2022. I'll be honest with you. It's been all over the place. A lot of excitement, a lot of things changing, not as far as the show goes, but a lot of things just changing in everybody's lives, which has been fantastic. So we'll kind of break down some of those things. Exciting news obviously happening on both fronts, Mike and myself, but obviously there's so many different things in the jiu-jitsu world that we can speak about today. We had the UFC Fight Pass grappling. What was it? The Fight Pass International?
Fight Pass 3. So
Fight Pass 3, sorry.
Taking submission grappling to the next level.
Yeah, which was I thought it was a pretty good card. I kind of give you some thoughts on like special things that actually happened during the match that I kind of want to criticize, but I probably look at it as a broader brush, I guess you want to call it. But we had Nicky Ryan, that was a late replacement for Gordon.
Nicky Rod, man.
Nicky Rod. Fuck.
Brother versus brother. What is this like?
That would have been sick. That would have been
Hart versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. Like that's reminiscing right now.
You know what? Like that, those were like the great rivalries that you like to see. You know, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, Lex Luthor versus Yokozuna.
Luthor. Whoa. We got Superman's.
That's going super old.
Arch nemesis.
Oh man, but like so many great rivalries. But yeah, no, huge event over the weekend. Nicky Rod as a late replacement versus Gordon Ryan. Very somewhat controversial endings, but I mean, like, it is what it is. Mike, kind of like, obviously we saw the match go down. We saw a lot of different things happen throughout the match that always ended up into an overtime, which I think was kind of like Nicky Rod's game plan to try to get to overtime and then try to see if he could win on the back take. I don't know. What are
whoever escapes the fastest wins, basically. And this is why I don't like EBI rules. I'm coming in hot. I think a lot of times where you can be positionally just getting dominated, and you can like, oh, I escaped the back a couple seconds faster, I win, or like I'm a back escape specialist, where it's like, okay, like fantastic, but you got positionally just destroyed the entire match. So like, I don't know how that makes sense, but send your hate mail to me, because I don't care. That's my opinion. And honestly, I don't think it's going to change. I'm not a big fan of EBI overtime. With that said, it's an exciting thing to watch. I just think a lot of times, the wrong person wins, or like you have people that are just like, I'm just going to shell up and I'm just going to be super defensive and make a very boring fight, and then try to win in overtime by slightly escaping a little bit faster.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean, we've seen other competitors in different formats go from, obviously, no time limit rule sets, obviously who's number one time rule sets, obviously ADCC, which just happened down the line. And then when they get into these like EBI formats where it's like, okay, yeah, they're just playing for that overtime. They're just looking to see if they can, especially if they're, like you said, if they're getting dominated through a match, it becomes redundant. And it's not really pushing the action of where the match should be, and all the hype around it too.
You know what I don't mind actually is like the who's number one. If you have like, let's say you have 3 judges, it's a submission only, but then you have 3. This is how I think I would use it, just brainstorming maybe a different format. It's kind of a hybrid of who's number one and EBI. So I would use EBI if, let's say you have 3 judges and they score a unanimous decision at the end of regulation, then that person wins, no EBI overtime. Now, if you have a split decision, settle it by EBI overtime. That's how if I was going to do it, I would do it like that, because it would prevent the aspect of, hey, I'm just going to sit here for 15 minutes, not attack, and just defend the entire time. And essentially just try to run out the clock and try to win by escaping the back slightly faster or escaping an arm bar a little bit faster. So that's how I would use it, in my opinion. I don't know what everybody's thoughts are on that, but hey, if you like that, idea, slide into our DMs. We can have a discussion. And if you don't like it, then go fuck yourself. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. 2023 is the year of not me giving a fuck anymore.
Yeah, Mike's on a new tune nowadays, so everybody send your hate mail to him. He's taking them, he's reading them.
Send me your hate mail. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take your hate mail. I'm gonna crumple it up. I'm going to throw it in the garbage. I'm going to burn it because I don't give a shit.
Oh, I thought you'd wipe your ass with it first and then burn it. And then...
Yeah. That would actually make... I don't know if it would burn as well. Like, does shit burn well?
Gasoline makes everything on fucking fire.
Gasoline makes everything burn. But paper's already pretty good at, like, burning, right? Yeah, so, like if I took a dump... Do we have to perform this experiment on, like, Instagram Live or something?
Nah, I don't. I think we'd get flagged, but you never know. Twitter might let us do it now.
Twitter might let us do it now. That was a quick run in freedom of speech and being a CEO. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I look at it this way, where it's like, okay, we're gonna actually take votes and let the asylum vote on who's gonna be what, or should I step down? It's like, oh yeah, fuck, I'm just gonna vote. Hopefully they vote my way. I mean, I think Elon's smart enough to know that he probably was gonna step down as the CEO anyways. But
he probably is. I think he probably has somebody in mind who's gonna run the show.
It's if anything, it's like all bot traps and trying to get people like interacting on the servers more than anything. I think that's the biggest thing.
Now, who lasted longer? Elon Musk as CEO of Twitter, or some former team members and management at the gym that we do not speak of?
Oh,
I got you thinking. It's close.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Who lasted longer? Who lasted the shortest? Aaron's first time doing the deed. Elon Musk as CEO of Twitter.
No, the other guy.
Some management at the gym that we do not speak of. It's a very tight race.
For the first time did not last long. I know that. It was like 17 seconds. But
that's fast. That's a lot longer than some team members.
Quick. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I think the other guy lasted longer. Just because of like will, they had nobody to do it.
They just had nobody to do it by default.
They had nobody to do it. They're like, we need to ride this fucking shit out.
Until they couldn't no more.
Yeah, like basically when it was on fucking fire. I mean, it's sinking and on fire at the same time. Like, how do you fucking put it out?
and it got shot with a torpedo.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking diesel fire fucking just going.
Just a machine, and then just like taking a machine gun to it after, just to make sure,
Hey, you know what? You want to run a good business. That's the way to do it, I guess.
Burn it to the ground.
Burn it to the ground, restart. Fuck, it's just people's money. Fuck, whatever.
So Aaron, like, what would you do in positions like that? Like, let's say you come into a role and like it's a complete gong show. Like, you have managerial experience. I have like a little bit, but like not to the extent that you do. Like, you're coming into a place and there's fires everywhere. How do you approach that?
Well, I think you have to look at two things, right? And like the situation, like we're talking about, every situation is different, so it's hard.
Yeah.
I don't want to paint it as a brush, right? The situation that we're looking at where there's no money, like, okay, so funding's non-existent, right? So you're not going to get any more money for funding for staffing. So that's an issue. You have supply chain issues. That's a huge issue, right? So you can't service what you need to service, and you can't create an experience because you don't have the staffing, right? So just two red flags right there. So then the other atmosphere is like, you can't go in as a general manager just shooting out from the hip and firing everybody, because as much as you feel it might be the right thing to do, you have to address, like, obviously the red flags that are right there. So I mean, if there's like obviously like fraud or like theft or things going on, those are red flags. Like that
like major issues.
Like that needs to be illuminated no matter what. I mean, that stuff can't go on. But I think the biggest thing that any leader can do going into any new setting is really do nothing and observe for the first 30 days, really. And you go in, you see what's actually happening. And then from there, that's where you can start making your adjustments based on what you're actually seeing. What's the culture like? What are the people like? What's the staff like? Do you actually know who the staff is? Are they coming in to work on time? Like all those little things that are happening. And then you have a better assessment to go, okay, this is what I need and how I'm going to address it, rather than shooting from the hip and just firing everybody. And then you have no staff left. And it's like, oh, we're going to hire on the fly. Well, you need to train those people. So who's going to train them? And so if you're not going to train them, you have to have managers in place that can train those individuals to do the jobs that they're supposed to do.
I mean, it's an uphill battle, especially like if somebody's genuinely coming in and being like, hey, I want to help and I want to try to turn, this company around or this gym around or whatever the case may be. Like, it's like, where do you start? It's actually a very difficult position to be in, because like you can't go in and, like you said, you can't just go in and fire everybody, because then who do you have to work with? Do you try to retrain and just restaff slowly? Like, do you try to, get a cultural shift, kind of address some of the red flags? Like where do you start? Because honestly, I don't know.
But here, I mentioned the first thing right off the bat. It's called in like funds and money and investment, right? If they're not investing in the business anymore, that's already a red flag number one to the actual company itself. Right. So when we look at expansion, they're never going to, the company we're speaking about will never expand in Canada anymore. Right. So meaning it's a dead market. Right. So they're not going to put any more money into the market. Right. Other than to keep it floating. So that's flag number one. Flag number two is that, okay, cool. You're not going to let anybody really, you're putting people in to be placeholders. You're not going to get anybody in there to actually make an impact on the business. That's the big issue, right? So you want people that are like, yes, man, hey, we want to do this. No, you can't do that. Hey, we want to hire these people. No, you can't do that. Don't have the budget, right? Like that's the battle you have. Hey, can we order this? No, you can't do that. So you're always getting these, no, we're not going to do this. This is how we do things this way. Well, it's not working that way. It hasn't worked this way in the last 5 years, you fucktards. You keep trying to push the same
now
message.
Aaron's coming in hot. Send your hate mail.
It doesn't work. That's like, what do you want to like? You don't understand how many times they've recycled the same thing, called it something new. It's the same fucking thing, and it didn't work last time. Why are we going to repackage it and call it something else?
No, you're absolutely right.
Why cat shit? Now it's cat and dog shit together. Like that's basically what it is.
No, you're absolutely right. You can't just repackage the same thing over and over again, or you can't just keep trying to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result.
No,
it doesn't work like that.
Right. So you ever see the movie The Big Short?
Yes, I did. Fantastic movie, by the way.
Great, fantastic movie. I love it. I probably watched it like, I don't know, like 10 times, just because it's like, it's such a mastermind of fuckery. Yeah, but it's just the way they lay it out is so great, right? And so there's this amazing part where they have Ryan Gosling. He plays the stockbroker, not the broker.
He's a banker. He's a
banker, right?
Yeah.
And so he's got these Jenga pylons, right? And so they talk about CDOs, and it's like, okay, these represent your mortgage bonds, right? And there's CDOs and all that kind of crap. And then you take one out, and then whatever. And he basically laying it out of like, these triple A's and triple B's and whatever, they're all worthless dog shit. They're all
levels of like bonds, essentially.
Basically,
right? So it's like you have a triple A, like this is like buying Microsoft, like it ain't going anywhere. But then what you're realizing on the surface level, it's a triple A. But if you go a little deeper, it's not so triple A.
Well, because what happens is they take the C's and the B's and they package them together. It gives them credibility, but they say they're AAA, but they're not, right? And so when those bonds fail, basically, so when we look at like all the lower and I'll use this as a perfect example. So you have your higher tier employees, your individuals who are just like, your superstars, your rock stars, they're guys who love the business, they love working for the company, blah 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 blah. They're great individuals, so they're your AAA rated people.
That's your base of the Jenga tower.
Sure, right?
Yeah.
And then you have that's not even those are your good people, right? Those are your middle people, right?
That's that's the base of the tower, Aaron.
The base of the tower, right?
That's the base of the tower.
These things start to fall because they're like, and again, it's always death by 1,000 cuts. It's never just one thing that happens, right? When you have long tenured employees, right? It's always a bunch of different things. I didn't get paid on time, or I didn't get that promotion that I was promised 6 times already. Hours never get changed. Promises that never come into play. No training, no this, no that, blah, blah, blah. Like, it just always convoluted of different things over and over and over again. And that's how you lose great tenured employees like yourself or myself, or yourself down the road, myself.
Whoa. We're gonna have to edit that part out, right?
Oh, no, fuck it. No edits now. No edits.
Oh, now we're not editing. Okay.
No editing.
So Aaron Gall says, fuck Justin Trudeau. Come to my house and arrest me, RCMP. This is my location.
I'll edit that part out.
Go ahead, Aaron Road.
But yeah, that's basically what happens, right? But then you have individuals who should have been fucking fired 6 months ago, right? Hey, let's let them run the asylum. So what did you expect was going to happen? Like,
here we are, Aaron.
Here we are. Just in a travesty of, but things happen for a reason. That's how the world turns around, right? Things happen for a reason. You get fucked over. So you know what? You can either stay in the same spot, or you can just say, fuck it, and move on and find a new thing to do. And that's it.
Yeah. That's basically it. I think I might have had a breakthrough to you, 2 years ago during the pandemic, where I was like, hey, Aaron, these places don't care about you. Yeah, I don't know if you remember this conversation. And you're Probably. Like, this is that. And I'm like, listen, Aaron, they don't care about you. When have they reached out to you in the last 3 months? No. What have they said to you? Nothing. What have they offered you? Nothing. Why are they coming to save you right now? You're floating in the middle of the ocean. You're like, oh, they're going to come get me anytime. No, they're not, Aaron. No, they're not. I had to slap some sense into you 2 years ago, and now you're seeing the light, and you packed your parachute. You jumped out of the plane.
Yeah.
I'm calling a taxi to the airport right now.
No, and I don't regret it at all. And I've loved every second of it. It's been great. It's been an eye-opening experience for me. Obviously, it's a new challenge. It's interesting. Entrepreneurship is definitely a different beast, right? Like, but again, it's a new challenge. Obviously, I have to especially with the new year coming too, right? It's like anything where you look at like a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, like what's the main plan? Obviously, it's to break even and make sure I don't lose my house, right?
What's the so Aaron, what does your next 12 months look like? Kinetic BJJ and Performance. What are your goals? Let's do some goal setting.
Goal setting session.
We're gonna look back a year from now, and we're gonna be like, boy, we sure fucking missed these.
Well, I mean, I think on my personal end, as far as my business goes, I mean, and I don't even think I even released that episode yet, but no, The Last Dance of Aaron Gall. I haven't even released
Part one.
It's
going to be a mini docuseries.
The mini docuseries. We haven't even done that yet, so that's gonna have to happen soon. But no, I think the biggest for everybody that doesn't know, I opened up obviously a private training studio, which is more an idea of like exclusive space for individuals to get the training or the performance needs that they are looking for to help them connect with their goals, right? So it offers a much different setting compared to a gym membership, right? It's the idea of your personal space, your personal programming, your ability to just come in and not have to think and just get training in. That's what the whole idea is, right? And you don't have to worry about anything, right? Everything's taken care of for you. You got towels, you got your water if you need it, coffee, the whole deal, training, everything that we have in the building. It's a small space, obviously, but it's something to grow on. So my biggest step is obviously to in the next 12 months, obviously to expand it, obviously make it a little bit bigger than it is currently with more equipment, more updated stuff. And then from there is maybe in the next year, possibly get somebody working with me as well. So I think that would be the next step. So obviously there's only so many hours I can do. So how do I impact more people? Because that's the way I look at it. It's like, if I can only impact 40 people through the time I have each week, okay, that's 40 people. But now how do I impact 80? Then how do I impact 120? Then how do I impact 1,000? Like those are going to be the next steps when we look at building from that programming and building from there. And it comes into the idea of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but also with personal training and achieving anything that they want, really. Because unlike yourself, like you decided to open up a school, which is fantastic, and I'm super proud of you, and I'm happy that this is something that you're doing.
Pack the shoot,
And
fucker. Pack the shoot. We're
but
doing it. Shoot your shoot, Aaron.
that wasn't the route I was ready to go. Does that make sense? So it was
No, totally. I feel like we both went different routes in 2022, and you know what? Honestly, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, and it's not a bad thing at all. Not to say my route's better or your route's better.
Nope.
It really
I'm not saying that at all either.
Two separate businesses, right? And it's going to be interesting to see how they both grow too. So I think, and then here's where the beauty of it is: the two of you and I can lean on each other for ideas and different strategies and connections and all these different things too, which is going to be the exciting part.
I'm just here to make jiu-jitsu great again in the GTA.
Wasn't good before.
I want to make it great again. I want just like America. I just want to make it great again.
Oh fuck!
As I go down to Florida.
Is Grapple Arts going to be the MAGA of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community now?
Whoa! I didn't say that. I just
said,
okay. I'm just going to make jiu-jitsu great again. There's been a lot of BJJ bitch assness. Over the last few years.
Do you want to explain more, elaborate on that?
Do you know I don't know. I just see some of the things on the internets, as the kids say.
Things on the internet.
Things on the internets about maybe it's about cross training. Maybe you're not allowed to do that. Maybe it's about, oh, you have to buy this gi or get the fuck out. There's things like that. You know, like I just want freedom, Aaron. I want freedom. I want to end the mandates. If I have to, I'll park a truck in Ottawa. I just want to be able to wear whatever gi I want and go train. And I think people just want freedom at this point after what they've been through the last couple of years. And I'm just one of the many options in the GTA if you were looking for freedom. Freedom of choice, freedom to choose the type of gi that you want to wear. Just end the mandates. I'm just gonna keep saying end the mandates, Aaron.
End the mandates, okay. Gotcha.
End the mandates. But no, in all seriousness, I'm looking to. I just want to offer something different, something fun, positive environment. Honestly, I'm looking to. I want to start with like a fresh crop of just new people are like, ooh, jiu-jitsu, what's this? I've seen this before. I wouldn't mind trying this, and I think that's actually the clientele personally that I want. And now over time, of course, that'll grow. But
yeah, and then you start building up your white belts to blue belts and all that kind of stuff.
But that's the one thing I missed. I would say during the pandemic was at the gym that we do not speak of. We had a small crop of gentlemen, many of which are still training, and you know, I miss kind of bringing them up and training because it actually made jiu-jitsu fun, a lot more fun again for me again. Make jiu-jitsu fun again. So back in that day, I was like training, like I'm doing it here and there. It's okay. But like I never really, I felt like I was missing something at the time. And I felt like it was like, all right, I need to teach and build and develop some people. And that's what I want to do is take some males and females and children at our new location, which will officially be open January 5th. That's a Thursday. We open right at 7 a.m. So come check us out. And we're gonna make jiu-jitsu great again, Aaron. End the mandates.
End the mandates.
End the man. That's gonna be a new shirt. It's gonna be Grappling Arts Academy on the back. End the mandates.
Okay. All right. So
just keeping things fun. Like that's really what it comes down to. Just a fun, positive environment. Come learn some jiu-jitsu, learn how to kill a man. You know, you have a child who may not be as confident in, on the playground or they're getting bullied, bring them to Uncle Mikey, and I'll show them what's up. Bring them to Uncle Mikey.
Jesus.
Bring them to Maestre Mike. That'll be an alter ego of mine.
So I want to circle back quickly on the fight over the weekend with Gordon Ryan and Nicky Rod.
Yes.
So, question for you: when you watched that match, did you see Nicky Rod look like he looked a lot better than the ADCC tournament? Do you feel there was a possibility where we're looking at potentially a guy that's going to dethrone Gordon? Did you look at Gordon being very timid? Like, what are your kind of thoughts on the match?
I think Nicky Rod came in a lot more prepared. I think he fought a lot smarter of a fight versus, I think you can clearly tell he game planned a lot more for this one versus just, I'm going to come in and like try to throw Gordon to the ground 30 seconds in. Now he's on the ground. He's got a free takedown, ADCC rules. He was in some decently deep exchanges and he stayed composed and he found a way out, and he was actually firing back in some positions as well. He potentially broke Gordon Ryan's foot with a toe hold, or he tore some ligaments or something. He definitely did some damage.
Pop for sure.
And even Gordon said on like the post press conference, like, "Hey, like I left my foot out there and he grabbed it. Like he didn't what it is. He grabbed it. He didn't respect it, and he put a nice tight toe hold on and went from there and just went to town on it." And you heard some loud, audible cracks and pops.
Cracks and pops. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I think he fought a lot smarter. He fought a lot more with a better, solid game plan for what it was. I also think he was training a lot more intense because he was supposed to be in the 8-man tournament. Meanwhile, Gordon was in Hawaii. I don't know how hard he was training the last month or so.
That's what I was gonna say.
He took a little bit of a break.
Kind of been off for like the last month. Sorry, and deservedly so. I mean, the guy won ADCC, did an amazing job. Did something that nobody's done before. So give the guy a break for sure, right?
Also, like, to Gordon's credit, like, you can't. He's had his foot on the gas for like. Just so to speak, not that kind of gas, Aaron, but he's had his foot on the gas for.
Well, the controversy's out now, right? The PEDs versus the greasing issues, right? So what's what? What's more?
What's what?
What is more illegal? But obviously, greasing.
What do the rules say? That's the question. This is why, like, this is also another thing as well. If you're gonna make submission grappling, send your hate mail to me. I don't give a fuck at that point. 2023 is the year I don't give a fuck. So you're going to have, so you're basically blatantly allowing people to take whatever substance that they want. And you're basically letting people essentially apply whatever thing you want to your skin. You can moisturizer, etc., to be, exceptionally more slippery to get out of, maybe like submissions or leg locks or things like that. What are the rules that say, like, because I saw in the press conference, like, well, you can't grease. It's like, well, what's the repercussions? Nothing. And it's like, well, then what's stopping somebody I'm not saying that Nicky Rod went out and did this. Like, there's some accusations out there, but I don't think they're like heavily proven. But with that said, what's stopping somebody from taking PEDs? What's stopping somebody from putting moisturizer and lathering themselves up with all that gym that we do not speak of moisturizer and dipping yourself in a tank of that before you step on the mats, right?
No, and you make a fair point, right? Because there's I think it was one of his stories where basically said, where it's like, during ADCC, I wore a long sleeve rash guard once, and that was during my Nicky Rod fight. That was one of the reasons, right, why he wore the long sleeve, so he could have a grip. But during Fight Pass, he wasn't given the option. He wasn't allowed to wear a long sleeve. So hence, again, like, allegations, do I know? Yes or no? I wasn't there, so I can't tell you what's what. We're just going off of what we heard from accusations of different people. And, I look at it, but again, like, I'm going to go back.
Here's my question for you. I'm going to cut you off for the 900th time this year. So you want submission grappling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whatever you want to call it. You want to you want to call it a professional sport along the levels of like hockey, baseball, basketball, football, soccer.
Mhm.
Pick a major sport.
Pick what
like
you want, right?
Wrestling. How do you get this sport to that level with basically, let's just call it like the drug culture and the cheating culture that is in it, where literally more people are doing things that they shouldn't be technically doing if it was another sport. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. And like I agree with you whatsoever all over the part of it, because I'll even give you a perfect example. When we look at the level of professionalism, right? It has to, like, if you want to be considered a professional sport, okay, you're gonna have drug testing, you're gonna have all the aspects of what professionals have to go through, right? But again, fighters gotta get compensated for it too if they're gonna play it as a professional sport, right? I agree with that. So there's this hand in hand. Now, the other aspect to it is like, this is where I was like, this is, you want to be considered professionals, you need individuals who are reffing these things to be fucking professional. Because the referee, now I get it, it's a big fight, this is a good opportunity for him and all that kind of stuff. When the referee's reffing this match, and when you see Nicky Rod put that toe hold on and you hear the pop, you see the ref just go, oh my God, like the scrimmage that people would normally do, right? You're the professional in the ring. Your job is to protect the fighters and to obviously stop the fight if it needs to be stopped because of a tap or a submission, to be on hand to do those things. You fucking being emotional, being excited to be in the sport of being there, can't fucking do that. And
no,
then
you got to be
in the head on a swivel,
moment.
in the moment, know when to stop that fight when it happens. Then during the overtime, when this fucking thing will go, okay, Nicky Rod's got the choke on, whatever, right? Time runs out.
Yep.
But what's supposed to happen?
Clearly runs out.
Referee is supposed to stop the fight and say, stop doing what you're doing. That's it. But the referee fucking, there's a picture of Gordon in the head and the rear naked choke. The referee is like doing the, oh, does he have him? Does he have him? Right? The time,
it's not his fucking job to be a fan.
The
it's
time
his job
fucking
to ref.
runs out, and you didn't stop the fucking fight. You had to wait for Gordon to go, hey, is the clock done? Oh, cool. Gives a little tap, like, let me the fuck go. Now everybody, and again, like, it's just casual fans are like, oh, he tapped. Like, no,
he didn't.
The fucking fight was
more
over.
of a, hey, can you get off me? And
like, the fight's over. The timekeeper and the fucking referee are supposed to stop that fight. They didn't stop the fight. That's on you guys. Like, you want to be considered a professional sport, you can't even referee properly, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, that's another element of it too. Like, you need to have professional people who know what the fuck they're doing reffing these things. Also, it's a submission only. How hard is it to ref?
Exactly.
It's the easiest thing to ref.
You don't have to do anything. There's no, you don't have to collect points. Don't do nothing. Like, it's, did he tap? Yes or no? Like,
as a favorite quote of Aaron's, you can literally sit there in a sub only event and you can sit there with your dick in your hand and you're still doing a great job. And you know what? If you're doing that, you'd probably do a better job than these guys. They're reffing.
Like, oh, just fuck me. Like,
because like with different rule sets, like ADCC, the
that's
IBJJF,
different though. You have to apply rules. They're engaged in the fight. Okay, they have to head on a swivel, right? You want to
engage in the fight most of the time, but yeah.
But like, you want to be considered a professional sport, okay? Your referees have to be like professionals. Like, it's just a fucking sham. That's all.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just disappointed with that.
Yeah, I was not very impressed with some of the refereeing, but with that said, hey, like, you know, these are things that are positives that are moving the sport in the right direction. They're getting eyeballs on it, but at the same time, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Now, on a lighter note, Michael.
Yes.
So I know you like comedy, right?
Oh,
everybody likes a funny thing.
I like comedy.
Yeah. So Twitter sometimes will throw out these amazing videos now. I think they're getting funnier.
Time out 1 sec. Bruno, get the fuck over here.
Bruno,
get the fuck over here for a second. Come here. Shut the fuck up. We're gonna leave this in.
Bruno, be quiet.
Bruno's trying to get outside, and he's like, I gotta take a shit. Let's go. Keep going.
Is that Bruno or is that my cat?
Oh, that's Bruno scratching. Well, it's Bruno panting right now. Bruno scratching at the door, being like, gotta let me out. I gotta take a dunk. Dump. Aaron, go. Spell her. Okay.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna pull this up. I don't know if you've seen this.
H-E-R. Okay, what is it together?
Can you hear it?
Fat her.
I hear.
Are you sure? Yeah, fat her. What's so funny? I'm saying it right. Okay, are you
Fat
sure?
her.
I don't get it. Yes, fat her. I get it. Am you guys making fun of me? What? Together. Fat and her. Spell it. F-A-T-H-E-R. What does that spell? Fat her.
Fat her.
Sound it out. Fat her.
This is gonna be Aaron on Christmas Day.
F-A-T-H-E-R. What is that?
Without caffeine.
F-A-T-H-E-R? Yeah, what is that? Fat her.
Fat her.
What am I fucking stupid or what? Yes, you are. Fuck you guys. Getting mad. I'm getting mad. I'm serious. Spell it out. F-A-T-H-E-R. Stop.
Do it live.
F-A-T-H-E-R. Get mad for real.
He mad.
All right. What? F-A-T-H-E-R. English. What are you?
Never seen somebody so adamant about fucking this.
About spelling.
How do you spell father? F-A-T-H-E-R. Oh.
The light went on. The light came.
Oh my God. I feel like an idiot.
This is
Oh fuck.
on a lighter note.
Yeah. I figure out how to do screen share now. So here we fucking go.
This is fantastic. We can record reactions to.
Oh yeah. 100%.
We have a new element to this podcast.
New element to the podcast. All live reaction shit.
So Aaron, it's been a crazy 2022.
It has
2023. We're both going into it. We're both have some independent projects, I guess you could say, to say the least.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's gonna be exciting. We got but you know what? We also have a lot of co-projects happening too. Obviously with Ace
sure do,
which is gonna be a big they got, I don't even know if we're allowed to announce anything yet, but we can't say when they're happening, but I can tell everybody there's at least 3 shows happening in the new year. That's
absolutely.
That's
so
gonna
we
be
gotta
I can't tell you when
fireworks.
we're actually doing them. I can't tell you what's on the card. Those are the things I can't tell you.
We're doing something with Ace. We just can't tell you anything yet.
Yeah,
it's not released, but it's
3
coming
shows
soon.
for sure with Ace that are happening. So we'll be super excited about that. Obviously, with a lot more events happening down the road. 2023 is going to be nuts, bro, because of all the tournaments that are actually happening in Ontario. Obviously, a lot of different things that are happening throughout the year. Obviously, with
big new things with me and you as well that we discussed as well. So
you're not competing this year, are you?
Well, I think I might jump into some stuff.
Are you gonna do it now?
I'll jump into maybe some more local smaller things, but I'm not gonna be, I don't think I'll be doing anything major just because of this. But that is on my bucket list to go back at black belt. 100%. This year may not be possible, but I'm
for you it could be about building the business and everything, right?
2024
possible. Yeah, I mean my goal is kind of like, again, like I said before, it is more about building the business. If the opportunity for competitions comes down the pipeline, I will definitely consider it. It just really depends on how my body feels and how I feel in general.
There's one more big question. So I've been taking some questions from some people. And number one with a bullet is, When is Aaron going to go to World Masters to fight Sanji?
That was the number one question, right?
That was the number one question with a bullet. Like I put up a secret poll and it was like 15 in a row. When is Aaron fighting Sanji?
Totally makes sense.
Yes.
Like I said, if my body holds up and I feel really good, I have some good fitness like aspiration, like jiu-jitsu goals I want to do this year, and competing is definitely one of them.
What about doing a bodybuilding show?
No, never. Not
You're like that. You're like, that's not your thing.
I am too white to
let's just call a spade a spade. Yeah, that lighting hits you, it's gonna reflect.
It's gonna reflect. You wouldn't see it. You wouldn't be. I'd be like this most shredded guy out there, and you wouldn't even tell. It'd just be a white light.
And just be that's all.
There's no amount of tan you can throw on me to actually get any definition in this.
It's just a beam of light reflecting off of you.
So, poll. Any questions? Number 2.
No, that was the only question.
That was it. That was the only question. Excellent. Only question of the day. That's amazing.
Yeah, we both have a very exciting 2023. Cheers to you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Year. Happy Hanukkah. Happy all the other holidays.
Absolutely. To our audience, thank you so much for an amazing 2022. It's been amazing, especially with you guys, and we love that you guys keep supporting us for some reason, and you still like listening to our podcast. We do appreciate everything that you guys do and everything that you guys give us as far as feedback goes, where we do appreciate it. We got some big plans, obviously, for the new year. A lot of great shows coming down the pipeline. Hopefully we can get out to FLA, New Brunswick, especially. There's plans in the works.
Aaron's been working on this for like 7
I've been working on it. We're gonna make it happen for
Fly
sure.
me out first class.
No, I just
and then they haven't returned our calls.
No, exactly. No, but like we'll see what happens, right? We're gonna try and figure it out. But yeah, hopefully down the road we have a lot more commentating jobs happening, and then yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
No, we'll have some fun. We'll see you on the mats.
Absolutely. Oh, and I think the next biggest thing we have coming up is obviously Grappling Industries, which is going to be the first tournament of the year. But then we also have the Sick Kids Roll-a-thon. That was the last one I wanted to say. So February 27th at the Toronto Police College, it's Sick Kids Children's Roll-a-thon with the Toronto Police Service. Choking hazard.
At the Toronto Police College officially?
Guard Players is part of sponsorship as well. Beautiful. Flawless Kimono. There's a lot of different sponsors.
Guess who made this Grappling Arts Academy shirt? Guard Players.
So yeah, so if you guys can make it, that'd be great. The link will be in the bio for this as well. Yeah,
all proceeds are going to Sick Kids Hospital.
Yeah, all proceeds to kids.
Great charity, great open mat.
Yeah, it's the first time we'll be running it in the last 2 years. So, and there was almost 400 people on the mat last time. So hopefully we can get more than that. Right now, I think there's like 50 people registered, but nobody registers for these things early. So it's going to fill up quickly. So if you want to be a part of it and you don't want to get sold out, make sure you sign up. Join the link below and you'll be ready to rock.
Beautiful. All right. No, shout out to Matt, who's spearheading this one. He's putting in a lot of hard work, and there's no better charity, especially right now with the pandemic, everything that's happened, especially sick kids needs our help more than ever. So come out and support. It's a fantastic charity. Come help out, get some rounds in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks everybody. Have a great holiday. We will see you in the new year. We're super excited, and we'll see you soon on the mat. Have a good one.
Justin Trudeau.